everybody, and welcome to the channel Crossing Your Spiritual Streams. My name's Tandra, and today we are going to do our 2022 predictions for what you might come across during the year, the kind of things that you might be dealing with, some of the energies that are going to be happening, maybe a little bit of advice if that pops up, or just to give you an idea of the kinds of things you can look forward to for the coming year. We do base this on your astrological sign, and it's for your sun, moon, and or rising sign. So it's a good idea to watch all three of those readings. That way you can get a better idea of what your year might be like. We do this slightly different than other readers in that for each sign, you will have 3 piles to choose from. So hopefully the reading will be a little bit more specific to you, because not all Aries are the same, not all Pisces are the same, and so forth. And so there liable to be some slight nuances or differences in each pile, and that way you have a better chance of maybe getting a little bit more detailed reading. These are the decks that will be used in the readings. So this is just letting you know the kind of decks we're going to be using. This is the Modern Witch. This is the Gypsy Fortune Telling. This is the Old Style Laramand. This is the Romance Tarot. This is the Wheel of the Year Tarot. This is the Black Moon Astrology Oracle deck, and this is the Witch's Tarot. So those are the tarot cards that we will be using in each of the readings. Okay, so next will be the introduction for each specific video. There will be an introduction to let you look at the piles and let you decide which readings to go to, and then we'll get to the readings for each one. So we look forward to seeing you there. Hello Capricorn, and welcome to your 2022 yearly reading. And we have 3 piles to choose from, as we said we would. We have pile 1 here with the Capricorn symbol. We have pile 2 with Capricorn written out, and pile 3 with the constellation Capricorn. So we're going to give you some time and effort to think about the piles, and whichever one has your gut instinct, that's the one that you should go watch. There will be links in the description that will lead you directly to that pile when you're ready to go there. Don't forget to check out the other videos that are in relation to your sun, moon, and or rising signs, so that you can get a whole picture of your year with all 3 or 2 of those readings rather than just the one. All right, we will look forward to seeing you at your reading. Hello Capricorn, pile 1, those of you that chose the Capricorn symbol. All right, we have a lot to look at today. We have our Black Moon Astrology card here, and we will be looking in the booklet for that because there's just so much information. I wouldn't want us to miss out on something on that. But we will get clarifiers with our tarot cards and our Laramand decks here. We have our charms that we'll also get some more clarifying information from. We have our Romance Tarot here that we'll find out a little bit more about your romantic life during the year. We will be doing our Oracle Spheres, where you can be thinking of a yes or no question that you can get an answer to. And we also have our angel numbers that we're going to be doing as well. So a lot to look at. Okay, so we have our first one here. We have 22 Capricorn. Interesting. I use. It's always interesting when the card comes up that corresponds to the reading that you're looking at. All right, so let's look and see what the booklet has to say. Okay, it is time to focus on your objectives and not let up. Ruled by Saturn, the planet of hard luck, the sign of Capricorn is personified by the goat that climbs the steepest cliffs to gain worldly success. Capricorn is a resourceful sign, and those under its influence long for power and prestige. There is no one more ambitious than a Capricorn. They really do want to take the world by the horns. There are more spiritual goats, of course, But the aim of most Capricorns is fundamentally practical in nature. With them, there are no careless wanderings into fairyland. This mountain goat looks for a physical niche, and through some glorious contract by which they can achieve, their aim is to come up in the world no matter what it takes. This is the reason behind the motto for Capricorn, I use. Since Saturn is their god, Capricorns are interested in what's solid, what can be seen, touched, or bought. Capricorns utilize their energies towards some concrete purpose rather than daydreams and imagination. When Capricorns do indulge in dreams, they always dream big. They are insanely ambitious and often good-looking. Capricorns appear mature early in life and then grow younger and younger looking with each passing year. When the Capricorn card turns up in a reading, it denotes a time of diligence and hard work. There is a gaining in status and reputation. Whatever you've toiled over, and especially sacrificed for, you are ready for splendid results to be revealed. Keep in mind this game may be slow and systematic, but that you are heading towards something solid and lasting. You are about to meet all the right people who will back you and your goals. Some may be greater in status than you, but they will show you the ropes or support you in some substantial way. By all means, do not lose them. Capricorn is a sign of drive and ambition. Therefore, you may feel more driven than usual. In essence, this card is saying to put childish things away and take responsibility. Go for what you want in a systematic way. Beware of looking back and staying in the shadows. It's time to unleash your talents upon the world. Do not let up. Go out on a limb. Okay. If your question is to do with romance or relationships, then these may take on more serious tones. Matters should grow deeper and more committed. It could be that one partner is older, higher in social rank, or will be a guide or teacher to the other. It may also mean one is more serious than the other. Okay, since Capricorn is a methodical earth sign, your outcome may progress gradually, unfolding at its own pace. You won't be able to rush matters. Everything must happen in its own time, not yours. Career and your profession are also important, and you can expect to see changes there too. The card can indicate skeletal problems such as broken or porous bones, spinal issues, strains, or even dental issues. Make sure you are getting enough calcium and vitamin D. Capricorn is a sign of time, maturity, and age, so if you develop an illness, it will be one that has been coming on for a long time. You could be awaiting an outcome or judgment, so look to the surrounding cards to determine whether it will be a good one. You may also be waiting for the answer or resolution to something long overdue. When the Capricorn card, you can be assured the answer will be just and fair, especially if you have worked hard and kept your nose to the grindstone. With this card in a spread, you will not be defeated. The Capricorn card in brief: ambition, goals, the outdoors, mountainous areas, heights, cliffs, skyscrapers, publicity, fame and infamy, the father or person who plays a fatherly role, judges, how others view you, power, using force, meeting people in power, the boss, bureaucrats, management, prudence, stubbornness, staying the course, determination, the payoff, willpower, staying strong, pewter and other metals, rubies and onyx, the colors black, brown, and gray, procrastination, antiques, time's measure, old age, old world traditions, world map, work, not being given any slack, karma, fatalism, tough luck, dwelling on the past, looking back, not forward, using what you have, pine trees, dry wit, teachers and teaching, toothache, rheumatism and other aches and pains, loyalty and commitment in marriage. The corresponding tarot card is the Devil. And the key ideas are ambition, playing by the rules, moving up in the world, fame, infamy, and the bones. Okay, so we're going to take a look at your tarot cards and get an idea of what energies you're going to be dealing with specifically. Okay, let's see what we got here. We got the Four of Wands, the Eight of Cups, the Shadow Side, the Star card, the Ten of Wands. Okay. The Knight of Wands. The Four of Pentacles. The Page of Wands. The Six of Wands. Wow, a lot of fiery energy. Okay, and then we got the Ecclesiastic. Interesting. And the Rider, the number 1. Okay. Wow. A main focus of yours this year is going to be hard work. Or at least reaping the benefits from work that you've put in already. I do think you will probably reap some rewards this year based on that. But I really feel like you will be spending time basically getting things in order. Like, trying to think of how to put it. You'll be working hard and you'll be trying to complete tasks, or you'll be trying to get to the point where you can reap the benefits of all the hard work you've put into something. You're going to be trying to finishing up projects, or you're going to be trying to reach a level of learning or other things where you can move up and start reaping some of the benefits of it. That kind of thing. I also see kind of a focus on traditions and those kinds of things. It's very possible. I kind of get the idea that several of you will actually be completing schoolwork this year. That you have been studying in college or another type of schooling like that, and that you will be finishing that up. Kind of moving on from things. Now, the other energy, you have lots of Wands cards, which are fiery, passionate, spiritual. I think you might spend a lot of time looking in on your spiritual, on the spiritual realm, like what you think about spirituality and religion and the status quo and those kinds of things. I think you're going to be spending some time on that. I think you're going to be looking in on what you think of a particular religion or particular ideals or particular thoughts on things. I think that's something you got going there. Another thing, I do think it is possible that you will be traveling this year, probably in relation to your work. And I also think, see, you have a lot of interesting energies this year. Even with the one's energies that you have, they are the very, I kind of see a progression here, okay? We have the Six of Wands, which is the coming back victorious from a learning and training and so forth. I see a graduation coming. Like if you're not graduating from college, you're graduating in some area of your life, either onto a new work environment or some other thing like that. You're graduating a level in your life. Okay, I see that going on. But then you're still kind of young. You're still new. It's still different. You're going to be working on some things that are still relatively new to you, because even though you just graduated and you've moved forward, you still have to get used to your new status, get used to the new ideas, new information, new things that you're dealing with. And that's kind of what I see with the Page of Wands and then the Knight. Okay, so you'll be progressing. But then we also have the Ten of Wands, which is that completion energy. It's that finishing up of the task. It's that. But it also swings back around to the graduation that I kind of see as well, because it is a couple of children doing the labors. So I really feel like you will be completing some sort of element in your life that will feel like a graduation. We do have the party and the celebration that the Four of Wands happens. We have the finishing off here of the Eight of Cups, and then, okay, that part of your journey is complete. We're moving forward. You have a lot of that energy going on in your reading where you'll be completing one type of learning or one type of phase in your life, and then you will be moving on to the next in doing so. It is possible that some traveling will be involved this year. We have the Rider card. We also have the Eight of Cups, which does show, indicate possible travel or movement that way. You might even be moving your home this year. That is a possibility. You might change careers, and so that might be one reason why you move, kind of thing. Okay. Now, we do kind of have over here in the distance, kind of off on that side, is you do have the Star card. And to me, that is kind of showing fated things, like things that are written in your destiny, written in your Akashic records, written in your files, coming for you this year. So I really feel like this is a year in which it's interesting how you have the 22 card, and this is 2022. Two energies are very much a bringing together of a, bonding things together, bringing ideas together, making two singles into a pair. It's that harmonious energy. I see a lot of that in your reading. It should be a very harmonious year as far as that goes, because you have so many twos going on, so much in the 22s and 2 energy. Now, it's interesting how it says that you guys are very ambitious. The Capricorns I know are not, which I find absolutely hilarious that it said that. But maybe deep down, maybe a little bit more, maybe it's just not on the surface as much. And I do see some ambition going on here during the year with all the fiery wands energies. I do feel like you want to increase, move up, go forward, reach new heights and new levels, especially in your career and in work-related matters or things that you are busy doing. Okay, so I do see that as being part of a focus for your year as well, which is ambition. I do see, I see ambition in such a way of not ambition at all costs or not knocking people, down to get what you want or anything like that. I see the ambition more of you want to move up, you want to increase your money, your status, your position, those kinds of things, and that you will work hard to obtain that this year. You assume that it's going to take some work and effort, and that you are willing to do so. Okay, so that's the energy I'm getting there with that, as far as the ambition goes, as far as that goes. And I also do feel like you will more than likely work hard enough to complete whatever task that you start during the year, because that is an energy. You guys are willing to work for what you get. You understand that it takes that to get where you want to go. And I feel like you guys are going to be in that energy this year where you're willing to work for it. Let's take a look at your romance cards. Let's see what might be going on specifically for you in the romance department this year. What might be happening there? We got this card, and I'm going to pull 4 this time. I feel like I need to, so we're going to. Okay, so let's get these in order and see what we got. Another Wands energy, an 8 of Wands. We have the 3 of Swords, okay. We do have the Death card as well, and then we have the 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so it is possible that you guys will spend so much time on work and being focused on that that you might not spend as much time on any kind of relationship that you're in, if you are in one. And it is also possible that you will suffer some sort of heartache in the romance department this year, in that you might break up with somebody that you've been seeing. They might go away. You might see a change in your romantic relationship that way. That is possible. Now, but I also see, okay, if you guys are in a very stable, long-lasting relationship, if you've been in one for quite a while, it's a stable one, it hasn't shown any kind of rocky signs or anything, I really feel like it'll probably stay pretty strong and stable this year. Okay, I do have that energy. You do have a couple of threes here, which could show some creativity. The one's energy is also kind of a creativity kind of energy, so you guys might actually be creative in your pursuit of anything this year. You might actually figure out some creative ways to go about doing things. You might do that kind of thing. Now, even though I do think you're going to be focused on work a lot this year, so you might not even pay a lot of attention in trying to get into a romance, especially if you break up with somebody, or you might even throw yourself into your work because of a breakup. That is a possibility as well. Even though you might not care to spend much time pursuing a relationship this year if you're not in one, it doesn't mean you won't meet somebody that you can have a good time with, that you can share your joys with, that kind of thing. Even if it doesn't turn out to be a lasting relationship or a super deep loving one, it could be a beneficial one to you if you do happen to run across somebody this year that you get into a sexual relationship with. That possibility of them being older than you is there. That possibility of them being some sort of mentor to you, or somebody that helps you learn. The three energies are also learning energies. They're also back in that mode of moving forward. And we talked about, even though you're graduating this year, you're also still going to be in a new phase with some things. So you kind of have that energy of graduation, moving on, moving up, but also still being new in some things. And you might have somebody in your life that will help guide you through that. That might actually be somebody that you get into a relationship with. I almost get the energy of somebody that is much more experienced than you, and you meet up with them, you have a connection with them, you appreciate them, and they like you, and they help you move on. I get that kind of energy. So it is possible you will get into that kind of relationship this year. And it is possible that you will stay in any kind of relationship that you already have, as long as it's a stable one. If it's one that was already rocky or having some issues, it's possible you guys will break up during the year. I always hate saying those kinds of things, but that is a possibility, because it's possible you will move for work, or because you've your graduation energy that you have going on, it might just be time to move on from them, or you guys might just, decide it's best, to go away. So that's an energy that's a possibility as well. Okay, so that's kind of what's going on there in your romantic life. Let's go and move on to our charms and see what other energies or things that we can come up with here. All right. Ooh, lots of charms. Okay, let's see what we've got. We do have the cross, and I did talk about, I do believe you guys will be spending some time on your spirituality this year, looking into religion, seeing what you think about religion, that kind of thing. So I do see that as something that you will be spending some time on. You do have some other energies here that are intriguing. You have the mermaid twice. To me, that usually means a transformation. That means moving from one type of thing to another. And that's intriguing that you have two mermaids, because Generally, with the Saturn type of energy and all, you would not be in the transformational energy there. You would not be in the moving, but you are moving up, you are changing. So I think the mermaids in this case would probably just mean your growth, your possibility of being able to get some of what you've really been wanting. The little mermaid story, she wanted something very, very, very badly, and she was able to, finally get that. And I can kind of see that energy with you guys this year as well, that maybe there's something you've been wanting very badly, you've been working very hard for, and by having the double mermaid here, it just is confirming that you should get that, your hard work should pay off this year, and you should get that, okay? You have a couple of other energies I find intriguing here. We've got the free to fly, which once again kind of doesn't correspond with the rest of the reading as much. In that, though, okay, the hard work that you've been putting into things should give you a little bit more freedom to not feel like you have to have your nose to the grindstone quite so hard. That once you complete this one area, you might be able to let up just a little bit and be able to be a little bit more carefree than you've been able to so far. Now, the other thing we have here, we have the anchor and we have the hammer. The hammer, I think, is denoting how much hard work you're going to be putting into things this year. I think you're going to be building for your future. You're going to be working towards that, that kind of thing. So I think that that's kind of the symbolism there. The anchor, as well, as I think you're going to be able to feel more grounded, more, I guess that does give you the freedom to fly, because you will be more grounded, you will be stable. The Four of Wands energy is a stable energy as well, and you're going to be more stable with what you've been doing because of the hard work you've been putting into things, and that stability gives you the opportunity to be more free and do what you want to do there, okay? So that's kind of an interesting thing. Now, you do have a couple of interesting things with love going on here. We talked about your love life, but you do have Cupid and you do have the four-leaf clover love key. So I'm going to revise a little bit of what I said earlier. And if it didn't resonate with you, that may be why, because I'm going to revise it some. Yes, it is a possibility that some of you will break up this year due to your hard work. Yes, it is a possibility that you might not spend a lot of time on love this year, or working on that, because that was something. So those things are still true, but there is a select number of you that will kind of get hit with Cupid's arrow, and it will be a fortuitous type of love matchmaking, in that that person will be very good for you. It'll be very lucky that you met up with this person. They will help you out with certain things in your life. They will possibly bring you certain amounts of joy and abundance and things that you've been looking for. They might be able to help you finish some of the things that you've been working on. I think that might be the energy of that older person that we talked about. I think it might be quite fortuitous that you run across this person and that you do fall into a romantic relationship with them. So that kind of goes along with what we were saying earlier, but slightly revised. Okay, we do have the grapes. That does show rewards and abundance for hard work, because it does take a lot of work to grow grapes, but when you have them, it's that beautiful reward you have going. I do see you guys getting rewarded for your hard work this year. I do see that as being something. We do have the tree here, and that shows the stability that you're creating. It shows the joy of life and the beauty there. Also, I believe your card said that it was related to pine trees. I'll double check that real quick, but I could have sworn that's what it said. And so pine trees might play a role. That sounds really silly. I know that does. But for some reason, I'm thinking of pine trees possibly playing a role. Yeah, it is listed in there. And I see that as possibly playing a role in your life this year. I don't know if that means you're going to be planting some pine trees or around the time that we celebrate Christmas, if that's when things are going to really finally bear fruit for you this year or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. Hopefully that'll resonate with you and you'll understand where we're going with that. You have another key here. And I really like this key. It's a regal key. It is kind of the scepter. To me, that just shows that you're going to reach the top of your level this year, or just about. You've got the key to do it, and by perseverance and by keep going on, you should reach a top level goal that you've been working on. That you should be able to do that. We also have the bear paw. To me, that just shows the strength, the perseverance, the staying on track that you guys are going to have this year. You do have the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles energy is one of trying to maintain a balance. And I do think that that will be something hard for you to do this year because you will be spending so much time on work or a goal that you've been trying to obtain. And it might be a little harder for you to balance out your life this year because you are going to have a tendency to want to pay attention to more than one thing more than another. We did talk about that in relation to your romantic life and so forth. So it is possible that you will focus on one thing almost to your detriment this year. So be careful of that. Try not to do that as much as you can. Try to be open to other possibilities and other things this year. Working hard is one thing, but you don't want to overdo it. So be careful with that, okay? We also have some letters here. We have a C, an A, and an R, so car. That could mean journey, that could mean traveling, and so forth. Also, cars sometimes are symbols of reaching a certain level or status, because if you can afford a car, or get the car you've been looking for, that it shows you kind of arrived or hit where you've needed to. So that's kind of an energy going for you guys this year. We also have a U and a Q, or a Q and a U. You guys can work out these letters to spell whatever comes to mind for you, or whatever words pop into your head when it comes to this. That's up to you guys. We're going to let you guys work on that on your own. But there are some symbols that we came up with as well. All right, so let's go on and do your oracle spheres. This is where you think of your yes or no question that you'd like to get an answer to. And you pick a stand. We have green, bronze, blue, and gold today. You think of your question, you pick your stand, and we go out and we get our answers. All right, number one, green, is a not now. Number two, bronze, is a very likely. Number three, blue, is a not now. And a number four, gold, is a not likely. All right, so we have a not now, a very likely, a not now, and a not likely. Okay, so there are those. Let's move on to our angel numbers. All right, we have 5 different stands here. We have blue, gold, purple, green, and silver. You pick at least one stand. You can pick more than one. You can pick all 5 if you wish. Some people use all 5 numbers as lucky numbers, so that is one thing that you can do with them. But what we'd like for you to do at a bare minimum is pick a stand, get your angel number, go out to the websites listed in the description and find out what the angel numbers mean. That will tell you specifically what the angels were trying to impart to you, what they would like for you to look at for the year, that kind of thing. So that's kind of how they're meant to be used, but there's the other ways that other people do with them as well. Like I said, you can pick more than one stand if you wish to get messages from, whatever resonates with you on that. All right, so number one, blue, is a 21. Number 2, gold, is a 17. Number 3, purple, is a 23. Number 4 green is a 38. And a number 5 silver is a 48. Okay, so we have 21, 17, 23, 38, and 48. So there are your angel numbers for today. Thank you so much for being here for the reading. Don't forget to check out the other videos that correspond to your sun, moon, and rising signs. Also, check out our other videos on the channel. We have lots of timeless tarot that should be of interest to you. We do put out videos every week, and many of them are timeless. And we do our daily messages from Spirit as well. So if you get a chance to check out any of those videos, there should be some good things coming for you with those. All right, we look forward to seeing you again in future videos. And may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello Capricorn, Pile 2. Welcome to your 2022 yearly reading. Okay, we have our Black Moon Astrology card that we will be looking at first, as well as reading out of the booklet. Since there's so much in here, I didn't want you to lose out on any information that might be entailed in there. We will clarify things with our tarot cards and our Laraman cards. We will also be looking at the Romance Tarot to find out a little bit more about what's going on with your romantic life during the year. We also have our charms to help clarify things and give us some extra information as well. We will also be doing our Oracle Spheres. That's where you can think of your yes or no question that you can get an answer to. And our angel numbers, where that gives the angels a chance to give you any special information that they would like for you to know. All right, so let's get started. Let's find out what we've got going for you guys. We have number 47, Grand Cross Provoker. Okay, I don't think I've had that card show up in any of the readings that I've used these cards for, so let's see what it has to say about that. The Grand Cross is an area of tension in a chart, thus becoming a great catalyst for movement and change. A rare astrological configuration, the Grand Cross, also called the Grand Square, occurs when 4 planets form a perfect cross in the skies. These planets are around 90 degrees from each other, meaning there are 4 planetary squares, 90 degrees apart, and 2 planetary oppositions, 180 degrees apart. Squares in the astrological chart cause tension and restriction. Oppositions as well are seldom soft aspects. They come with the pressure to grow and the will to exceed any limitations put on one's path. But the Grand Cross is the most rare and intense of all. In mythology, this alignment represents the 4 directions, the Grand Cross, also called the Cosmic Cross. It's symbolic of the 4 seasons, equinoxes, and solstices, as well as the cross-quarter days, indicating a period of time when your life may seem at cross purposes. Usually when a Grand Cross occurs, it indicates a crisis. Yet, through this calamity, there will be a painful process of growth, then renewal, and eventually a greater foundation for happiness and success. Strangely, it is almost as if the planetary energies are in competition with each other. This may be a rather exasperating time where you feel provoked and frustrated over booby traps that seem to have been set in your way. It's as if everything is working at cross purposes. You feel pulled in many directions. Such false leads and failed plans may leave you unable to produce concrete achievements. An area to look at when the Grand Cross card comes up is how you communicate. Are you communicating as well as you should? Are you abandoning a worthy project the minute it loses its shine in an effort to capture a larger, glossier prize? But more simply, in your effort to accomplish more, are you juggling balls in the air? Do you notice as you juggle if you are stuck in the same spot that not much has been achieved? When this card presents itself in a reading, it suggests there are multiple talents you are able to access, as well as numerous paths you can take. Focus and organization are key. Until this matter phases out, expect resistance, since opposition is the main energy field of the Grand Cross. Once on track, the momentum towards the attainment of what you desire will be impossible to stop. It mainly has to do with the shifting of energy and switching into gear. In regards to relationships or love, they will have a faded quality. You will not want to let go of a person no matter how hard it gets. There will be sacrifice and compromise with this relationship, and it will be one where you may want to bump your head against the many walls that seem to fly up out of nowhere. You are being challenged, and if you do not weather it out and see what the future brings, you will likely always regret letting this relationship go. If the question is about business or career, know that it will happen, but it will be hard. You have to be willing to walk the miles. Diligence will be required. What is positive about the Grand Cross card is you are becoming more realistic and focused. You won't be attracted so much by glitz and glitter, but looking more towards stability and long-lasting success. A good thing to remember is that it's best not to fight the hard lessons at this time. In fact, it is a period where you need to take stock of all that has brought you to this place. It is time to draw upon your own strength. In doing so, you will move from uncertainty into a place of peace and contentment. The Grand Cross card in brief. Frustrations, being overwhelmed by the reality of situations, balancing things out, analysis paralysis, unreadiness to move or act, the mulling over of matters, building a foundation, keeping an eye on the prize, identity crisis, focusing on self-worth, initiation, needing to act, poverty, the need to scavenge, hard luck, not being given a break, direction, focus, earning trust, implementing change, the need to be more flexible, encountering resistance, time for healing, time for reasoning, feeling hurt, victimization, feeling misunderstood, a realistic look at the future, going through the motions, an unfavorable time to act on impulse. The corresponding tarot card is the Nine of Wands. The key ideas are pressure, discipline, frustration, growth, defensiveness, competition, and victory. Okay, so let's take a look at your tarot cards here and see where this energy might be flowing for you this year and how it might look. Okay, we do have the Five of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, okay, the Page of Pentacles, the Strength card, okay, the Eight of Pentacles, the Fool card, the Nine of Pentacles, okay, Temperance, the Nine of Wands, the Lost card, and number 28, Man, or the Ace of Hearts or Cups. Wowzers. Okay. One thing I'm going to say just right off the bat, and I don't usually start a reading out this way, but this reading lends itself to that. At least the first part of the year is going to be rough. Okay? It might even go a little farther into the year than that. I do see things getting better by the end of the year, which we'll go into in a moment. But I think it's going to be kind of a rough year for you. And the card, the very first card that, we had, the Grand Cross, talked about some of that difficulties and pushing and pulling and things being difficult. And quite a few of your tarot cards lent itself to the same energies. You even had the Nine of Wands card, which is the corresponding card to that. You've got a couple of other things that show things improving, though, so we will talk about that. But I kind of want to give you an idea of kind of what I'm seeing about what you might be dealing with through the year. First of all, you have the Loss card here. It's showing losing something through gambling, but mostly I just see that as losing probably something monetary, either a job altogether, or you might have some money, like let's say in a 401k or something, and something happens and you lose that, or some other type of calamity dealing with your finances may happen during the year. It's one of those pressure points that I see as a possibility for the year. Something that's going to require you to change things up. It's going to require you to look at things somewhat differently. It's going to restrict you some during the year. It's going to cause you some issues. Now, this loss could be in something else that's not monetary, but you have so many pentacle energies going on there. Now, pentacles could also mean health. They could also mean other earthly matters, or anything dealing with earthly desires. Your home and those kinds of things, because those are also pentacle energies as well. Although I still get in your particular case the feeling of restriction happening throughout the year. Now, you do have a couple of other cards that indicate this as well. As the lost card is, you have the Five of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Swords, and so forth. And then the Nine of Wands, which is kind of a protection energy. So I do feel like you might be kind of constricted during the year, or not sure how to handle certain situations. You're going to feel maybe like, you can't really move, that kind of energy. I feel like that's kind of something that you might be going through. Now, what's nice though, I know that doesn't sound very pleasant, and I know that's kind of rough, that you're going to have to go through some of these kinds of energies during the year, especially dealing with not having enough, and the feeling of overwhelmness, I think, is kind of the energy I'm feeling here. That I feel like every time you might make an inroad this year, especially early on in the year, like I said, this may not even clear up until, we're talking August, September, maybe, for things to really start improving quite a bit. You may go through quite a bit of frustrations for the first half, or the first 7-8 months out of the year. The energy I get is that you might make a little bit of progress on something, or you might get past a block, and then as you take a step forward, something else will crop up that will make things difficult. Example, let's say you are working and you're barely making ends meet. You are only bringing in enough money. You're living paycheck to paycheck, and you're not living very high on the hog even with that. And you're going along, and your car breaks down, and that's going to make it even harder to earn money. But let's say your tax return comes in, so you've got enough money to pay for the repair. And so, okay, you're getting past that obstacle. You find a way out. You go along, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, something else requires your attention for money, like an unexpected bill crops up, or something else goes out, like a furnace or something like that. And now all of a sudden you need money again. And, and you have to find your way out of that again. And that kind of energy. I feel like you're going to feel like you keep getting things blocking your way. You keep not knowing the way out of situations. You keep having situations crop up that hinder you. That kind of energy. But, as I was saying, what is nice about this energy, or what is going to work out for you, is, first of all, you're going to be able to see that throughout whatever these difficulties happen to come up, whatever they happen to do, you are going to be able to work your way around it. You still are going to be able to do it. It's going to be frustrating. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be going, oh my gosh, or feeling like, you just can't, win. I've had a few times in my life like that too, where things like these come. That's why I was able to come up with an easy example. But you're going to be able to figure out, as time goes along, that you can get past these things that crop up, that you can still flourish, that you can still make a go of it. You can still produce good things, good quality stuff. You can still do well. Okay, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. The other thing is because of this feeling that you're going to have, you're going to feel the need to build things better so that these kind of blockages won't stop you in the future. And so it's a really good learning year. It's a really good year for you to learn how to deal with things as they occur and work your way around obstacles and through that kind of thing. It's a really good year for that. Um, you have the strength card, which is very great in this reading because it shows that you do have the strength to deal with whatever the universe throws at you this year, whatever you're going to have to deal with. You've got the strength that it takes to deal with it and move past it and come out better in the long run. And that was a huge energy with this card, by the way, that by getting past these hurdles and these things that go on, you're going to come out much better than you started out to begin with. That, everything will work out better for you in the long run. You do have the Eight of Pentacles, and you have the Nine. You have the Page. All of those pentacle energies show me that over time, as you work through your obstacles and the problems that you're having through the year, that eventually your hard work will pay off, your perseverance will pay off, and you will start, money and other things like that will start flowing to you again. Okay? You also have the Fool card, which I think is a really good energy for this reading, in that I think by the time you get through a lot of this oppression, a lot of these obstacles, a lot of these problems, you will finally feel freer. You will finally feel like you've been able to break free of all of these things. And mostly it's because you're going to be able to figure out how much strength, perseverance, ingenuity, and other things you have. And you're going to feel like, wow, I've really got this. You've got the Page of Pentacles here, which is also going to give you that youthful feeling, that youthful energy. The Temperance card just shows kind of the push and pull you're going to feel all year between one energy and another, trying to get that balance back, trying to not let one current pull harder than the other one kind of energy. So that's kind of what you got going on there. Now the Man card, this is kind of important in this reading, in that you could have somebody this year. This is possibly a lover or a boss or somebody else that is important in like that. That will show up or be part of your life, and he would be able to, he's a responsible person. He's somebody that can help lead and can help you make decisions and things like that. So generally, it's a good card in your reading, in that I see that it's showing the strength, perseverance, able to make good decisions, being persistent, in pursuing your goals and so forth. I think that's what he symbolizes for you this year, in that you will be persistent. If you stay steady and persistent, you will be able to reach your goals. That is what is finally down the road when you get through that. So even though there's frustrations and other things going on this year, just know that the goal is attainable and is at hand. It is there. It does exist. It is, at the end of the road kind of thing. Okay? Let's go on and move on and look at your romance cards and see what energies you might be feeling in the romantic department this year. Because, like I said, most of the loss, hardships, heartaches, and problems I'm seeing so far tend to be more in the financial realm, I believe, this year, or in the career realm, for most of you anyway. So let's see what we see in the romance deck. Now, it's also very important, I've mentioned this before, about checking out the other readings that deal with your sun, moon, and rising signs. Like if this is your rising sign, it's a really good idea to make sure you look at your moon sign and your sun sign as well. You know, that kind of thing, because some of the energies that we see in one pile may be slightly counteracted or at least lessened through some of the energies in another pile, because you know, not everybody's going to have the same exact year, and you have different combinations in your chart and other things like that. And so something else that might crop up in those other readings might help you get a better idea of your full year and some of the energies you're going to be dealing with besides the particular ones that are talked about in this reading. So that's kind of important to know. Okay, so we have the Two of Cups, the One of Pentacles, and then the Eight of Cups. Okay. It's interesting. Okay. I think in the romance department, your year might be kind of similar to other things, in that I do think there might be some obstacles that you will need to work through a little bit, or you might have to work at it a little bit, I guess, is kind of the energy I'm getting. But, okay, first of all, I do think it might be a good year for romance. I think there's some new beginnings with some of your romance, with some of you guys with new partners. I think there's a possibility that partners will come your way and will come to you, and you will be able to form up partnerships. I do think that that is a possibility this year if you're not already in a relationship. If you're already in a relationship, I don't necessarily see a lot of breakups or anything like that happening, unless they just weren't very good relationships, and you just decide you don't want to be in it anymore, or that kind of thing. But I don't see the energy for massive breakups or anything like that happening during the year necessarily. So that's kind of, you know, more of a individual, you know, how you feel specifically about your relationship kind of thing, rather than a universal energy going on. But I think if you're in a relationship and it's a decent one, I don't see any reason why you would split up. There might be some rocky times, though. There could be some hardships during the year. There could be some situations that are a little bit difficult to deal with, and you'll have to work your way through them, just like some of the other situations in your life this year. But like I said, I don't necessarily see massive breakups or anything like that. Okay, so it is possible to get into relationships this year, and they might be decent ones. You know, I do see the energy for new ones. But I still see a little bit of rockiness in, you know, just like the other areas of your life this year. I do see a little bit of trials and tribulations going on in your romantic life a little bit this year, and that's for those of you that don't have a partner at this time, and for those of you that do. I still see some rocky times ahead. I see some issues that will crop up, some things that you'll have to deal with, some things you'll have to hurdle over happening. They're going to require some work and energy this year, I guess, is the attitude and the feeling I'm getting from that. But that doesn't mean that it's not worth the effort, because like everything else for you this year, any effort that you put into it, you should get some pretty good rewards out of it once you get through the obstacles. So, you know, I would not just say, oh, to heck with it, and go, well, I don't want to deal with that this year, because sometimes we just have to go through times like that, where things are not always the way we would like them to be, but in the long run, we get a lot better out of it when we're finished. And that's kind of the energy you have going on for a good portion of your life this year so far. Let's go ahead and move on to our charms and see what else there might be going on with that, what other energies we might see, some other things. Okay. Be you bravely. It's going to require a lot of that this year. Be who you are. Don't focus on the good. I like that message because your year is going to require you to do that. There is still a lot of good things happening this year, a lot of good things coming from what's going on this year. So even with the problems, the obstacles, the hurdles, the other things that you might be dealing with this year, pay attention to the good things because there will be good things. Make sure you notice those. Make sure you pay attention to those. Make sure you rejoice in those. You don't want to get too bogged down with the other energies that you're dealing with because there is a lot of good energies as well, and you want to make sure that you focus on those. Okay. Also, there is the idea too that, remember at the end of all this trials and tribulations and all that stuff is a good, I love this. We have a good foundational energy here with the Four of Cups. That's not always the energy that people see with the Four of Cups, but in your case, because it's in this form of a card, it is a four. A four is a foundational energy. It is building that foundation, and that is what you are working on this year, is building good foundations, so that things are better in the future and not as difficult to deal with. So definitely keep that in mind. We also do have this nice balanced energy with the sun and the moon here. That kind of goes along with the Temperance card. In that, just try to stay on an even keel as much as you can for the year. Try to keep that balance. Try to keep that flow going if you can. You do have what is for you will not pass you by this year, and that is a really important message to know as well. Because of the energies that you will be dealing with this year, you might feel like you're not going to get what you should get because obstacles and other things will block you from getting it. That is not entirely true. You might have to get past hurdles, you might have to go around things, you might have to, work your way through problems and things like that. But they're not going to stop you from getting what you are owed from the universe, what you have manifested from the universe, what you should acquire. If you're meant to have it this year or even in the future, you're still going to get it. It's not going to stop just because there's roadblocks or other things that pop up in your way. And so that's an important message to go along with the focus on the good. You do have the Ace of Swords. That's a good clarity card. That's a good, first of all, you have a new beginning there card, as well as your Ace of Pentacles that we had here. And those are good to have because those do show new beginnings, new starts, kind of thing. And I do think you do have that energy that you will be able to start new things after you get past the hurdles. And the Ace of Swords is a really nice one because it's one for good ideas. It's one for cutting through bullcrap. It's one for knowing truth and righteousness and things like that. It's a really good card for that. So that'll be good energy for you for the year. We do have the Salamander and the Kitty here. And what's great about these two energies, the Salamander is a passionate, fiery, kind of energy going there. And then we have the Kitty, which is more mysterious, more mystical, kind of energy. And I like the two together because it shows that balance that you're aiming for the year. It shows the ups and the downs for the year. It shows, those kinds of energies. It's kind of that. It's the balance energy, like what we're talking about with the sun and moon. It's the extremes. You will be going through some extremes this year, and that's kind of showing that there. We do have the Star Bunny, though. I like the Star Bunny energy because the bunny energy is quite often, to me, associated with renewal, because you think of bunnies at Easter time, you think of spring, you think of that renewal time, that renewal energy. And this is very much a renewal energy this year for you and renewing things in your life and that kind of thing. So it's a really good energy as far as that goes. We do have an F and a C. Those could bring into mind a word or words if you think about them. They could be initials, that kind of thing. I usually let you guys kind of figure that out for yourself, what comes to mind for you, let that resonate with you and how that goes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's look at our oracle spheres. Let's get an answer to your question here. If you have a yes or no type of question, we have 4 different stands here. We have green, bronze, blue, and gold. Okay? You think of your yes or no question, you pick your stand, and we get your answers. Number 1, green, is a yes. Number 2, bronze, is a very likely. Number 3, blue, is a not sure. And a number 4, gold, is a very likely. Okay, so we have a yes, a very likely, a not sure, and a very likely. So there's your oracle sphere answers. Let's go ahead and look at our angel numbers. Okay, we have 5 stands for these. We have silver, green, purple, gold, and blue. We have 1 through 55 in our angel numbers. We would like for you to pick at least one stand that you would like to get angel numbers on. You can go to the links in the description that lead you to websites that will let you know what each angel number means. That way you can get an idea of the energies the angels were trying to impart to you or the messages they were trying to tell you. Some people like to use all 5 as lucky numbers for the year, or you can use them as specific dates that are important throughout the year, or other things like that. Okay, so let's take a look here and see where we got going. We got number 1, silver, is 26. Number 2, green, is 1. Number 3, purple, is 50. Number 4, gold, is 23. And number 5, blue, is 28. Okay, so we have 26, 1, 50, 23, and 28. So those are your angel numbers for the year. Wow, guys, sounds like you have a really intense year coming. Like I said, don't forget to take a look at those other videos so you can get some other energies to go along with this to kind of round out your year. Please remember to check out our other videos on the channel. We do have a lot of timeless tarot. We do put out videos every week, and a lot of those are timeless. We also do our daily messages from Spirit, so we invite you to watch any of those that you're interested in, and we look forward to seeing you again in future videos, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Capricorn, Pile 3. Those of you that chose the constellation for Capricorn here, welcome to your 2022 reading. We do have our Black Moon Astrology card that we will be looking at and reading out of the booklet for, because there's just so much energy here. We don't want to lose out on anything that we would like to look at for that. So we want to do that. We also have our tarot cards and letterman cards to help clarify those messages that we've got going on. We have our charms to help us out with that as well. We also have our romance deck here that will help us out in finding out anything about your romantic life during the year. We also have our oracle spheres where you can be thinking of your yes or no question that you can get an answer to, and we will be doing that, as well as our angel numbers. So we have a lot to get to, so let's see where we're at today. Okay, number 46, Grand Trine Blessings. Okay, that's intriguing. All right, let's see what we got going with that. A grand trine is when 3 planets aspect each other at 120 degrees. This creates an equilateral triangle if you are to draw lines between the 3 planets. These planets will usually be in signs of the same element. A grand trine is considered to have an easy flowing energy, either in the natal chart or by transit, and to be an incredibly lucky aspect. Trines, when only 2 planets aspect each other at 120 degrees, always inspire harmony in the skies, so there's a sense of wholeness and completion when a grand trine happens. Although grand trines do not always spell out easy fame or fortune, those with one in their natal charts can be born into wealth or at least momentously talented. The only downside with a grand trine is that those influenced by them tend to become lax or so contented that it leads to laziness and inertia. It is like a child who is given everything he wants and thus doesn't know the values of responsibility or appreciation. When the Grand Trine card presents itself in a spread, be assured you are entering a time of easy flow, or that of at least many of the impediments you are experiencing are being lifted. This speaks of a period of harmony and ease that may inspire you to take the path of least resistance, but it is best that you keep your eye on the prize and not let go of your original purpose. Do not leave it on a shelf. There is a possibility that your success may be lost if you do. On the other hand, this is a time where you can expect yourself to be in the right place at the right time. What may seem like a lucky break stems from the wants and desires you have been consistent about. It isn't, however, time to coast. You must continue to give a little more effort in order to keep that wheel of fortune turning. Also, don't pass up any opportunity that may fly by. Not every one of them will be right for you, but a few will facilitate your coursing a flowing river of success. When it comes to love, when the Grand Trine card turns up, your existing relationship should improve. Your social popularity will increase, and if single, you are about to meet a person, or have already, who will be a true partner, not only supportive of you and your successes, but someone who you will help advance you in your goals. It could indicate meeting up with your perfect mate, but this would only be as long as both of you are willing to nurture the relationship. If not, it will still be an overall good relationship, just a short-term one. This is an excellent time to apply for a loan, to ask for a raise, or to expand in terms of finance and career strategies. Whatever the subject of your question, your path is being cleared. There are a few road bumps, but the most important thing is to follow through on everything you start. There is harmony with this card, but things will not take care of themselves. While it may seem that luck is on your side, you have been diligent and worked consistently to bring this about. Your diligence and hard work may not be visible to others, but you deserve the success that is soon to be yours. Stay in the flow, trust in the universe, but continue to do your work so this fortuitous time does not pass by before you can reap the harvest. You will need to apply real effort. The Grand Trine card in brief: being gifted, being blessed, creature comforts, good luck, but with no guarantee of success. Receiving gifts, winning, having faith, being in the moment, indolence, inertia, wanting to play instead of work, unrealistic expectations, avoidance, escapism, fantasy, easy flow of energy, lack of complications, easy enhancement of natural gifts, taking the easy way out, seeing no need to push the limits, artistic sensibility, dream catchers, hidden potential, contentment, euphoria, harmony, innocence, childhood, getting along with others, being empathic, being at one with others, sweetness, gentleness, privacy, the inner world, acceptance, satisfaction, striving for peace, experiencing disconnect, and stasis. The corresponding tarot card is the Temperance card, and the key ideas are harmony, completion, being in a good place, easy flowing energy, opportunity, and contentment. Okay, that's really intriguing because it talks about needing to work at things, which I think kind of all three readings kind of mentioned, but the energy is so different from the second pile. That's really kind of interesting and cool. To me, it's fascinating when they're all very similar or when there's big differences like that. Okay, so let's take a look at your tarot cards. Let's see if we can narrow this down just a little bit and see where we're at for the year. All right, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, the Six of Swords. Okay. The King of Pentacles. Wow. All right. The Queen of Cups, the Two of Cups. Okay. The Ace of Swords, the Devil card. Okay. The High Priestess, the Love card, and number 26, Book, or what is also known as the Ten of Pentacles. Wow, okay. You guys do have some really interesting energies flowing through this year. you have a lot of potential going on, first of all. Um, it okay, there's a couple of different energies I see here, a couple of different things I'm looking at. First of all, I think what we read in the card here, in your Grand Trine card, I think hit the nail on the head for your year greatly. It really, really spelled it out in that you are going to feel like going with the flow this year, and things should be much smoother sailing than they may have been so far. Okay, but I also feel like, okay, kind of going along with this, is there might be some temptations to kind of get lax and lazy or not really work at where you're going. So that, I think that is something you need to worry about and think about and make sure you don't do. This is both in your career, finances, and in your love life, both. Okay, so I do feel like it covers both of those areas of your life. And the reason why I'm saying that is, okay, we have some really good abundance, good flowing energy cards here with the Pentacles. We have the Nine, we have the Queen, we have the King. We have those wonderful energies going on, which really shows that finances and other things should flow to you relatively easily. You should have some good opportunities coming to you in those areas, okay? You also have the Two of Cups and the Queen of Cups card, and the Love card. Those all show me that things in your romantic department and all should also flow pretty well. Be relative, you should be fairly happy and cheerful, and love should flow your way and things like that. But then we have, okay, we have the Six of Swords card, which once again to me is showing the flowing energy. They're on a boat. They're getting away from the problems. He's having to work, though, to get across this river or sea or whatever he's trying to traverse here. There was some situations he had to deal with, and now he's having to work at getting across. But at least he's got, things kind of going on his side. And so that's the energy that you have going this year. And then we have the Devil card, and that's where I'm getting where you might be tempted. The Devil is very much that temptation for laziness, for, not working at something, just kind of letting things go. And that's where the warning for me comes in, to make sure that you don't give in to that, and that you don't let this easy flowing energy lead you astray, kind of thing. We do have the Book energy. What I see with that, first of all, it's a Ten of Pentacles. It's once again reaching that higher, wonderful, it's a Pentacle card. It's the 10. It's, receiving all the riches kind of thing, kind of energy. And you can go there, but then we have a book there where I think that takes some work, that takes some study, that takes some knowledge. The universe isn't just going to plunk a pile of money into your lap this year, but the universe is going to give you opportunities to have money come to you and flow to you in really good ways. But it might require you to do some thinking, have some ideas that you implement. With the Ace of Swords, you've got that possibility. It might require you to do some studying, or have some effort, or do some other things to learn to be able to have that come to you. Okay, so that is the energy that we've got flowing in your year, is that you have a lot of opportunities coming your way for good abundance, good love, good things like that coming to you, but that you will still need to work or put some effort into it to reap the rewards back out of it. Okay, you can't just expect it to show up and be there and be done and over with. And so don't give in to any kind of temptation to just kind of coast through life this year. There's certain things that you want. There's certain things that you've been working at steadily of getting. There's certain things that you have been working hard towards. And the universe just wants you to keep doing that, and knowing that a lot of the obstacles, a lot of the problems, a lot of the other things that you've had going for you should start flowing easier, should start coming to you better. You should have more ideas, more knowledge, more other things coming to you to be able to help you get those things that you've been wanting. Okay, let's go ahead and look at your romance card specifically to find out about your romantic life and see where we're at there. Okay. Let's see what we got going. I really find this intriguing that this reading is so much different than Pile 2's reading. Pile 2 has a much harder time going this year than you guys do. I find that very interesting. I did recommend that they watch the other videos corresponding to their sun, moon, and rising signs. And I do recommend that to everybody because that will help give you a better picture of the whole year. Because if you have a lot of similar energies in all three cards, well, then you can definitely go, okay, yeah, that's definitely it. But if you have other energies that counteract or do other things, then some of the energies that we're looking at may not have the same flow to them. Okay. You do have the Sun card, which is beautiful. You also have the Five of Wands, and you also have the Hanged Man. That's intriguing to me because relationships should be really happy ones for you this year. I do think romance will flow to you if you're not already in a relationship. I think if you are in one, I think it should probably grow and be beautiful and be a very happy one this year. You won't have as many problems and strifes and problems and things as maybe you might have had in the past or that kind of thing. But you do have a couple of energies to deal with, and I think this is where the work involved comes into it. You do have the Hanged Man. I do think it might require you to approach love maybe in a different direction than what you have so far, especially if you're looking for a new romance, or if you do start having a little problems with the one that you're already in. You might need to change up how you've been dealing with things in that so that things will flow easier. I do think that those ideas will come to you, though. You do have the Ace of Swords energy, so I do think by thinking on it for just a little bit, you'll be able to figure out the best way to deal with that. The other energy we have is the Five of Wands. That just shows some changes and some change ups in your love life. It's possible some of you guys will play the field a little bit this year. If you're not already in a romantic relationship, you may have several flirtations or people coming to you. But there is the energy that a long-lasting relationship might come about as well during the year. So you might have quite a few flirtations or play the field somewhat, but then at some point it is very probable that you will hit a romantic situation and partnership that will be much more long-lasting and deeper than the other flirtations. Okay, so that's kind of what we got going on for your romantic stuff going on for the year. Let's take a look at your charms and see what other specific energies we're looking at, other things we might be dealing with. Okay, we do have a number 4. To me, that's a good foundational energy. This is a good year to build foundations. This is a good year to rely on foundations that you've already built. It's also a good mothering energy. It's a good home energy and building of a home together and so forth. So there is that. We do have the In My Heart, and we also have the Cupid's arrow heart here. And we have the two forming the heart here together. So I do think in the romantic department you have some really wonderful energies flowing your way this year. I do think it is a high possibility that your soulmate or the love of your life will come along this year if they haven't already. I just think that that's, you also have a musical instrument here where I think of harmony. Family, I think, is going to be a very important thing to you this year as well, because we do have the elephant and we did have the 4 energy card, or the 4 number. And I do believe that family will be something important to you this year. It's very possible you'll start a family this year. Uh, with somebody, that may be something that you will think about doing. I think you'll have a lot of confidence because you do have the confident kitty here. Um, so that is an energy that you've got going. You do have the forever charm. Uh, so, like I said, I do think some very long lasting, very strong bond relationships are coming away. You also have the Ten of Pentacles, which shows that as well. You also had that earlier, I believe. You may not have had the 10. I think you had the 9. Okay. That just shows the abundance that can flow through to you this year, in the things that you've been trying to get into your life and so forth. So that just shows that that's just once again another indication that those can come your way. You do have the warrior charm. That's intriguing. It's very possible that you will you will need to work at what you get this year, and so it's very possible you'll need to have the strength of a warrior to get through the things happening this year. Even though most things should flow fairly easily, you might still need that kind of energy to tap into what the universe has to offer to you. So keep that in mind. It is interesting how you have the lone wolf here, in that I don't see you being alone or lonely or off on your own this year, anything like that. So the energy I get from this lone wolf charm is more of the wisdom of the wolf, the intuition, the energy that you get that way. And I think that just goes along with, I think, the way things are going to be flowing for you this year, that your intuition might play a part in it, and that you might just have knowledge to go this way or that way, or things will come to you, in your dreams or other things, and will just kind of lead you in the right direction, kind of energy. And I kind of do see that for some of you guys on that, and that's kind of where the wolf is coming in. So that's kind of an interesting way to look at the year as well. You do have a Y. I often think of the word you when I see Y, but it might mean something specific to you, or you might think of a word or other things when that comes up. You do have the summer charm, and that to me just goes along with the Sun card, or those other, like the Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, any of those kinds of cards, because they show the beautiful sunshine, how your life would be shined upon during the year and that kind of thing. That's what I see when I see that. We also have the purple pumpkin. Uh, and that's intriguing to me because pumpkins, of course, are usually orange, or at least tan, or some other colors like that. But with the purple pumpkin, to me, that just shows how... Okay, I'll put this in words here. You know how you sometimes want things that are different or unusual, or you think, wow, this would be cool if this was like this, or if I could do that. And you think about things that way. When I see the purple pumpkin, I think of unusual things in the universe, unusual happenings. I think you're going to have unusual things happen this year. That might be part of helping direct you in the right direction. That might be part of that kind of energy. Or it might be that you're going to manifest some things into your life that you've been wanting, but they're unusual things. They're not things that everybody asks for every day, or that people want all the time. But that opportunity to get that is still there this year because of the way things are flowing. And it is, unique time and that kind of thing. So that's kind of the energy I'm kind of getting from that. So that's kind of exciting too, because there is a huge possibility of you being able to manifest the kinds of things that you've been wanting to pull into your life for a while now. And if even if they are unusual and different kinds of things like that, that's still a possibility. So that's kind of cool. All right, let's do your oracle spheres. This is where you think of your question that has a yes or no type of answer involved with it. You pick a stand. We have gold, blue, bronze, and green today. You decide which stand you'd like to get your answer on, and then we'll go out and we'll get your answers. All right, so number 1, gold. is a yes. Number 2, blue, is a no. Number 3, bronze, is a very likely. And a number 4, green, is a no. So we have yes, no, very likely, and no. Okay, so let's take a look at our angel numbers. There are 5 different stands for you to choose from. We have blue, gold, purple, silver, and green. You pick at least one stand. You can pick more than one or all 5 or however you'd like to do it. We'll get a different angel number for each stand. You can go to the links in our description that will lead you directly to websites that will tell you what the different angel numbers mean. And that will give you some idea of what the angels would like for you to look at for the year, or what they want you to focus on, or a message they would like to impart to you. You can also use all 5 numbers as lucky numbers. You can use the numbers as important dates for the year, or anything like that that you need to do. All right, let's take it. Number 1, blue, is 44. Number 2, gold, is 12. Number 3, purple, is 6. Number 4, silver, is 37. And number 5, green, is 4. So we have 44, 12, 6, 37, and 4. All right, guys, so there are your angel numbers for the year. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please remember to give a video a thumbs up, share the channel with your friends and family, and check out our other videos. We have lots of timeless tarot videos on the channel. We do videos at least once a week, and many of those are timeless. We also do our daily messages from Spirit that you might want to check out as well. So we look forward to seeing you in other videos, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye.